any confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted to the
Kita, that's why we invited you because of this interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire that
to besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, my dignity, and my personality, even in those of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
fellow honorables and our staff and members of media. A pleasant morning to everyone. Our 39th regular session is now called to order. Please stand for a short prayer followed by the national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Righteous God, we ask for your presence in this session today, that you would bring to mind the things that are most important, and that we would be unified in purpose, and not to take things personally when someone disagrees. Help us to focus on the issue, and bless today's session that it would be in the best interests of everyone involved. Help us to make fair decisions, and may the decisions we are going to make can make huge impacts to everyone. So we pray that you will give us your wisdom that is from above and not lean on our own human understanding. Open our minds to the ideas of others, and open our ears to hear the words of others, and to make fair assessments of what others might say, and to treat with dignity and respect everyone who is present. We want to be godly in our actions with one another, and this means we should be slow to speak and quick to listen, and value the opinions of others. And this we pray in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Lumang inirang tuyang walang pag-ibig sa manlulupin, di mapasisingin sa dagatang tunog sa simoy at sa langit uulaw. May nilagang tulang at hawig sa patlayang minamahal. Ang pisang lawat at amoy ganun ay narating. Ang bituin na parang yakay ay kamay ni Makinig.
Mr. Secretary, kindly do the roll call.
For our 39th regular session, Honorable Abram L. Swalog,
Present.
SB Member Natalie C. Paderes, SB Member Jupiter L. Reggie Galinero,
Present.
SB Member Frolibar S. Bautista, SB Member Lloyd B. Maming, SB Member Dalidig Y. Sumdad, SB Member Maylin A. Graff, SB Member Danilo G. De Los Santos, SB Member Dante C. Pagsigaron, SB Member Julieta A. Aron. We have 6 present, Mr. Chair, and 4 absent.
Okay, so the determination of quorum is being established, so the chair would like to declare a quorum. Let's proceed to the adoption of the minutes of previous session. Honorable Lloyd.
Good morning, everyone. I move the adoption of the previous minutes.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Lloyd to dispense the reading of the previous minutes. It's duly seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. So let's review. Any correction or amendments on page 1? Page 2. Page 3. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Before we continue, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Paderes and Honorable Graf. Okay, Honorable Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, the previous minutes, since it was already properly reviewed, so I move for its adoption and approval, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion on the part of Honorable Posugiron for the adoption and approval of the previous minutes, duly seconded by Honorable Aaron. So our previous minutes is hereby adopted and approved as read. Okay, let's proceed to the privilege hour. Any privilege speech? Honorable Galinero is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to each and everyone. Good morning to August Body, to our friends from media and guests. Mr. Chair, my concern was that this is with regards to my privilege last session. This is with regards to the Colorum tricycle, no? Operating in the municipality of Malay, particular in the island of Boracay, without any permits secured from the office of the MTFRB and of course from the office of the mayor. And I am glad, Mr. Chair, that the office of the transportation, through the leadership of our transportation officer, Mr. Oxon, they conducted, shall we say, nag-inventory and of course operate, no, in the island of Boracay to distinguish who are that colorums and who are those who don't have any permits, no. So luckily they apprehended 3 colorum tricycle and 3 tricycles operating without renewing their business permit or mayor's permit, and some single motorbikes, Mr. Chair. So I would like to congratulate the fast action of the office of the transportation officer, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And also together with the municipal auxiliary police in the island of Boracay, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so your recommendation is duly noted. Any other privilege? There being none, so we will... Honorable Bautista is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. This is about the result of our attendance now. Yours truly, the SB Galinero and SB Pagsugeron, we attended the committee hearing yesterday at the provincial board regarding the resolution which I reiterated, no, sponsored by yours truly also, regarding the development at GT Port, Mr. Chair, Patiklan, the 2.6 reclaimed properties of the provincial government of Aklan, since all of us knew that there is an ongoing construction of a pier in front of that reclaimed area. And that's the reason why we passed a resolution questioning the provincial government of Aklan regarding the non-consultation in our LGU, the LGU Malay. So there was 2 resolutions passed and addressed to the provincial governor. First resolution, when we discovered the construction of a pier, the piling of that post at the pier, was dated, I think, June, no? June 13. The solution questioning the development of 2.6 hectares of reclamation project of the government of Aklan in Barangay Katiklan, Malay, Aklan. And in spite of the solution, there was no action taken. And then the second resolution was dated October, which I sponsored, Mr. Presiding. And with that resolution, the governor referred that resolution to the provincial board to take action on that resolution. Our resolution came out on June 26, 17 this year, because of the basis for the notices that was issued by our zoning administrator regarding the stoppage order of the construction of that pier at Katiklan. And the letter was addressed to the administrator, provincial administrator of GT Port in Katiklan, and there was a response from that letter, and the letter was endorsed to the provincial governor for comments. And we were surprised during the discussion in that committee that the project is not owned by the provincial government, but it passed in through the OTR. So they are denying that they doesn't know that who owns the project. That I said that it's impossible. So even the provincial board member doesn't know who owns the project, Mr. Chair, Mr. Presiding, and kept pointing to other agencies. Even PPA is denying that he doesn't know about it. So maybe that's the reason why is it that even we many times already we invited the DOTR to appear on this plenary because of the request for location clearance for the project in Manok Manok. Maybe because of that project, since they implemented that project without consulting us, without even a zoning permit or locational clearance secured from the office of the zoning administrator. So that's a very big violation, Mr. Chair, of our local code. Since a national government project should pass through a consultation with the LGUs concerned. So with that, Mr. Chair, I think we have to pass a resolution addressed to the OTR to explain to this body why they implemented that project without any endorsement from this council. And to highly recommend to the zoning administrator to really stop that construction of that pier, Mr. Chairman, until the time that they secured all the pertinent permits that requires in order to before the starting of the project, Mr. Chair. So with that, Mr. Chair, I would like to get some comments from this body if what to do with that project, since it's a very big insult to this LGU MALAY, Mr. Chair, these officials. It seems that there is no government here. And even the provincial government that are denying that it did not own the project. And who allows that DOTR to implement or to put up that kind of project?
Connected.
That's connected on that reclaimed area. So that's impossible, Mr. Chair. So I think we have to do something with that. It seems that they doesn't care. No? Parang, I don't know who really, who determines or decides for any project that will be put in our locality, Mr. Chair, by not passing to this following the process, Mr. Chair. So that's really my intention of bringing the problem here in the plenary, Mr. Chair, and to get some comments or recommendations, suggestions from this August body, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In connection to the statement of Honorable Bautista, Mr. Chair, also this is with regards to our committee hearing. No? So, actually, so yesterday, we attended the said committee hearing, and in fairness to the provincial government, according to them, that was the project of APIC, because during the inspection of the APIC conducted last year, it seems that there's a lot that it has to be improved, in this municipality of Malay, and one of that is the something like a docking point, in that reclamation area. But it was put on the record yesterday, Mr. Chair, that according to them, there were no memorandum of agreement with regards to the use of that area. So I don't know, if that is allowed, that it was owned by the provincial government, because the provincial government was the one who made that reclamation project, and now here is the DOTR making such pier or docking area project on that vicinity, and the provincial government, they don't know, and they don't have any memorandum of understanding with the DOTR. So for me, personally, Mr. Chair, it's very hard to believe because that was the project of the provincial government, and then they don't have any memorandum of understanding with regards to the construction on that area, Mr. Chair, no? So, but for them, according to them, there were no memorandum of understanding. So that's why medyo kami kahapon na medyo nangawa man nga may una gali nga proyekto nga bukod taglitan at probinsya, no? So I think our resolution was not merely pointing to the one who owns that property, because the resolution sponsored by Honorable Bautista was addressed to the provincial government. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move that the resolution by Honorable Bautista must be addressed to DOTR, Mr. Chair, so that we will know if what's really the real score, and then they will enlighten us, no, if we can invite also them to this plenary para mapaliwanag man ang dakaton, Mr. Chair, because kumbaga may national government, may provincial government, may municipal government, and that project belongs to the municipal area. So I do believe that they have to secure permits and necessary requirements before constructing any building or any construction within the municipality of Malay, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
before we act on your motion, Honorable Elinero, we'd like to get more reaction from the members. Honorable Graf, please recognize.
Mr. Chair, good morning, colleagues. Welcome back, other lady in the SB, SB Natnat, and everybody around here. I'd like to go back to the beginning with regards. I'd like to comment, no, being the lone signatory of the what do you call that, of the court case that we filed in the Supreme Court. I'd like to there is really many things going on in this place that people just like to come and violate and expect that nothing will happen to them. Similar to what happened the other week, somebody's just building a port. Another one's building a real port in our connected to the reclamation that belong to the province, which at the same time is also denying who built that, as if they woke up one morning and it's already connected. Ano ba tan? Natulog ako, pagbugtaw ko, sus, may nakakonect sa amon nga hugta. Pwede bagaran, Mr. Chair? Bukon ingan it normal. So, tanan ga deny. In short, that project is very secret. Or it is as if everybody's hiding behind the skirt of DOTR. Kung sa kuwan ba, tindog pa sa kamo sa tubi, hindi kanyang kaya ng MRT sa Manila, may gana pa kamo daan. Daanan, Mr. Chair, on my point of view, sa akong personal opinion pati, panaguan nga taran, it may gusto nga magbayular, sa kasugtanan, it Malay, ag BFI, ag probinsya, sa aging kasugtanan dati, imong aging sugtan ang reclamation nga padayunon, dahil nga may mga undertaking nga dapat ginsunod. Para makaiwas sa undertaking, nagamit it ibang ahensya or may ahensyang gingamit para makalusot. I mean, siguro, ay maura ng akong panginanaw dyan, no? Medyo masakit sa tanan nga Malaynon ang natabo, nga ginpanao ang aton nga rights sa pag obra it jetty port yun nga ni, tangja, ay ginasukot kita itong mga constituent, patuwa na itong ginabawi. So, dyan, ngun rano, ang kitat mahimo nga no, aman kitat ginaubra, no? Pero kung sa ano, bagay, mamatsyag man lang raan nga, it's not anymore like before, nga Malaynons are, siguro, in the armpit of Aklan. Di ba, we're the forefront of Aklan now, and everybody needs us. We are the main source of income of the province of Aklan, and they have to give us due respect for being hospitable and in sharing and very gracious, no, in sharing our wealth in Boracay. So sana naman, wag naman tayong abusuhin ng sobra-sobra dahil pag ang hambang ni Fernando po, pag umapaw ang pag umapaw ang salop ay ginakaros aran. So, imaw, Mr. Chair, ang ako, ginashare na ko ng sentimento ni SB Calinero, agang ang ginpreparar nga resolusyon ni ni SB Bautista. So, wa ba kita ginarespetuha gid atong pagka-gobyerno, di ang paggobyerno at Malay, tang panahon nga ni kabay ni Tay Midoy sino ang Tuting Reyes bagang gina-challenge ang Tay Midoy barilan kung nang mabilin imaw mayor mana anatan ang tang unang panahon. So abo kita nga dyan, medyo respetuhon lang baga atong gobyerno. Imaw na ako, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Graf. Honorable Pagsugiro is
Thank you,
recognized.
Mr. Chair, and good morning to all of us here. In addition to the privileged speech of Honorable Bautista, Mr. Chair, I was there also present yesterday in the committee hearing at the provincial board, and really I was surprised when the representative from the provincial government told us that the two, how do you call it, the two port, anong tawag yun, parang port yung one extensions, they mentioned it to us that they are not familiar about the project because they are not belongs to the provincial government. They said that it's the UTR, no? So it's very disappointing on our part, no? And even in our presence, Ma'am Aburka was there, and she told us that the DNR is not aware also about the project, no? So para bang may misleading talaga, Mr. Chair, and of course everybody could not believe that the provincial government is not aware of the extensions, no, of that two extension project, dahil nga it was connected to the reclamation area, no. So yun nga, I was emphasized also to the members of the provincial board and also to the team of governor that that whenever there is a project, whether it is a national project or a provincial project, the local government should be coordinated at dapat pag-usapan talaga, Mr. Chair, dahil especially kasi mayroon tayong mga previous experiences, it's high time sana na pag-usapan. It's not because nag-present ka ay that is enough, Mr. Chair, no? So although maganda naman, Mr. Chair, ang usapan doon, pero kailang may mga area, may mga gray areas pa na dapat klaruhin, even the 1,000 square meters that we remind to the provincial government that there is no clear answers, no, nga magbibigay. So may something na may railroading pa, Mr. Chair, no? So that's why siguro yung tayo dito sa local government should be vigilant enough na bantayan talaga, dahil isipin mo nagkaroon ng project dyan, Mr. Chair, na which is allegedly owned or a project of DOTR, tapos hindi alam ng provincial government, no? So anyway, I agree with the recommendations that resolutions be passed, no, addressed to DOTR, so that the local government, or we from the local government of Malay, should be enlightened of what happens to that project, Mr. Chair. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Pagsugiro. Honorable Aaron.
These problems arise because of the they did not convene the Jetty Port Management Board. Kaya hindi natin alam yung ano. When I talked also with the Jetty Port Administrator last time, I asked him if kung pwede na magamit ang reclaimed area as parking for vehicles during bad weather, and there are times that there are really lots of trucking in the area that could not travel, especially during typhoon. But he respond to us that gina-reinforce lang ang beneath it jetty port nga reclaimed area, ginadugangan para maging mas mapag-on, so hindi pwede siya magamit. So until this time na post na nga yung nagaano, so puzzled talaga tayo. So I think we will request also the provincial government to convene the jetty port management authority para ma-update din tayo kung ano talaga ang plano. So this time nagbahol ron gali ang gap. So I think there's a need to have a communication during that meeting nga dapat gina-convene. I think for how many years now there's no and there is also an existing management monitoring team wherein PRE are present last time, but this time no more meetings. So hindi tayo na-updates what's happening. Kami nga within the barangay na din na wala kaming alam. And there are really problems nga una gid aga tugpa sa amon. Thank you and good morning.
Okay, before other members, I sympathize with your observation, and I think all of you, we have all of us, we have the same observation, no? And but on the other hand, I think the objective of the project is good. It will help to decongest the old jetty port. The only problem is they lack coordination with the LGU Malay. And I don't believe that there was no permission from the office of the provincial governor in this case, because DOT are national projects. Usually, they are coordinating with the local. So, before we address the motion of Honorable Gallinero, I may suggest also that we will request for a conference with the governor. No, tanan kita ma-attend para to clarify all these issues. Anyway, if this project will give benefits to not only for us but for the tourists, then we are amenable to that. So, any other Honorable Bautista?
In addition, there to Mr. Presiding, came out in our always talking of good project. How can you say good projects before they started? They are doing bad things, huh? In bad faith. So if the purpose really is for good, why is it that they're hiding something? So with that, Mr. Chairman, so Mr. Presiding, I cannot say it's for good. Because that project is really concerned with public interest. That everybody must know the purpose of the project. Why it is that they are hiding. In addition, for the information, the Chair of this plenary, if you allow me, Mr. Chair,
proceed.
The first notice issued by our zoning administrator, it was addressed to Provincial Jetty Port Reclamation. So this is addressed to Mr. Nevin Makirang. And I would like to dispute the response, no? Yesterday of Mr. Makirang when I questioned him about the letter. And he said that when the contractor received the first notice from the zoning administrator, then the letter was given to him. So I asked him, why is it that the contractor give you that notice of violation if you are not? If you doesn't know the project, meaning you are the one instructing the contractors there, and how come the contractor get in with that premises without your knowledge? That's very impossible, Mr. Chair. And he answered, and there was a response from the letter from the zoning administrator, and he referred the letter the notice issued by the zoning administrator to the provincial governor. Since there was actually there was no any development yet on the 2.6 hectares, but that one, once it's connected, is already part of that 2.6. The chair. So kung tanaw naton, ginalito kita, no? Na maginatago. So yung mga nambay ko, kung purpose karon is kamangairan, ay man ginatago mo sa publiko. Pag isa pag ginataguan pa nimo, LGU malay pagid nga iyak ka sa jurisdiction of this government, local government. So it's a very big insult, Mr. Presiding, to us. So why we request, the proposal, anyway, that's the proposal of the presiding, to request for a conference. Dapat yung gobyerno mo na nag-conference sa katon eh. Diba? Hindi nga kita mag-as conference ka na dahil ubras na itmut manami una sa atong lugar. So dapat bago sa nag-start, nag-conference na ikunta. And that's really the process. To coordinate with us, to consult us, nga ito ba ay in line with our comprehensive land use plan? And it's very clear, it's a violation of our ordinance, Mr. Chair. Ordinance number 98-118. And they will be liable for this violation, Mr. Chair. Tapos i-deny nanda. I don't think na niwa sa nakasayod ka nga pwede ba garon nga masugod lang DOTR nga wa sa nakasayod. Even the PPA are denying. Imposible naman sa nag-implement. They are the implementing agency of the OTR projects. Tapos wa sa nakasayod. Ano ruman? It's very impossible. That's why PPA and the OTR must be invited to this plenary, Mr. Chair, in order to explain to us regarding that project.
Okay. Honorable Maming.
Good morning. Suggest ko man, pabor man ako sa kay chairman na suggest nga maka-conference kita dahil gani nga ang project yung Janon eh. So basi kung hayaman ang susi nga magkaroon kita ng tandem provincial dahil napatsagan naton dyan sa Malay nga gayno sinti kita permi dahil gani nga wa sa naga panabinabi. So pwede man siguro nga maka-conference kita para masayran man nato ng kuan piras karan nagipitron sanda natira sanda na-deny nanda. So dapat kasulod dyan mga project mo siya naton dahil ang gagawa tabi sa ato na daw tawo to dai. So suggest Mr. Chairman nga ma-conference para masayran ni tanan kung sino may mali. Gani ka dapat kaya sa Malay gid man nga masayran gid naton dahil daw medyo suburaro mo tara nga panaw taton dai wa ka poste naga 5. So, dapat mahulag rin kita para nga wa pa nabalda nga itong lugar. Mr. Chair.
Okay. Sa bilog gabi ng problema naton, wagid kulang ang enforcement naton sa zoning. Dapat may taga-serve ag may taga-enforce. Tungod kung pag-serve ag uwa, di ag tunat gwardiya to ag pa-stop kita na. Kamala. Physical nga pagpapundo. Kasi kung pabayaan naton, wa magyapon. So siguro sudyuhan naton kung paano mabuligan ang taga-zoning nga abo map kita eh. Agud kun may physical nga may nagpapundo to, di maalarma kung sino ang kontraktor, kung sino ang nagapobra. Eh mitas tanto nga wa kita one day naton ma-enforce ang aton nga pag-service violation, hindi naton ma-stop. May problema kita permi. So anyway, Honorable Graf, do you have something to say?
Okay, balikan ako ng good faith aga bad faith no nga pag-start construction. Ay ang manner gani ay bad manners man. So buko na bad manner ba ang wa ga pasintabi, di ba? May aton gin eskwelahan tanan nga asa ko basic ran nga ano na to ni manner. hindi mausyan ran hay maski ati aton pinakakubos nga ibang hud kaintindi it manner nga ginatawag nagagaong gid sa tagbagay ay medyo may aton ang manong hud nga wat at galang sa aton manong mas bahaw sa aton nga lugar baga pinaka probinsya na to nan siguro paano sa ambag nimo kay na bag-o lang Mr. Chair nga ang parte sa aside from serving the violation notice of notice of violation, may enforcers at the same time. And at the same time, not only enforcers, but to confiscate the materials. Because if you confiscate the materials, somebody will look for it. And the person that will look for it will be huli ka. Madali mag-usoy kung daga mo ang mga gingamit, di ba? So, imo siguro isa sa mga puntos nga input na ton kung halimbawa, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Grab.
Mr. Chair,
Addition,
I
Honorable
have a
Bautista.
suggestion to invite the legal officer next session, the zoning administrator, and the building official to discuss what moves we are going to do. No, as you mentioned earlier, mayroon nagsiserve but no enforcement. Para we can discuss the strategy on how to properly implement this ordinance, Mr. Chair, ordinance na 9811118. Di kita dapat mahadlok ka no? Pwede nato i-demanda sa namin, Mr. Chair, based on this ordinance sa mga violators. Para makita na nga we are really serious, no? On this matter. Ay ko puro lang sulat-sulat mga sugan sa pasa bawas sulat sigit ang construction makibot tapos sa aro project. Mr. Chair,
okay.
So before I request the proposal from SB Galinera to defer first until such time that we can discuss next Tuesday with the office of the mayor, the legal officer, the zoning administrator, and building official, the chair,
Okay.
for strategy, in order to come up with a good strategy how to enforce the ordinance, the chair.
Okay, Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With that premise of Honorable Bautista, I would like to defer my motion, Mr. Chair, so that we can invite the said department heads to give us also information with regards to that project. And in addition, Mr. Chair, I don't know why, no? Supposed to be the provincial government should also do or did like this, because it is on their property. But we don't we don't see any actions from them, or kumbaga yesterday they were just it's not our project, it's something like that. Kita gani makabakait mana kara, pero on their facial expression it seems that parang wala lang.
And Mr. Chair,
Okay.
one thing more
Honorable
very
Bautista.
surprising, the presence of a DNR personnel and said that wala palang isisi yung project na yan. See? A national project with not following the environmental laws. Parang baliwala lang So, I think, Mr. Chairman, we have to discuss on Tuesday with those to be invited, no, and to make some good strategy on how to implement that.
Okay, so
Ordinance, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Gallinero withdraw or defer his motion. And take note, Mr. Secretary, that we're going to invite the zoning officer, the legal officer, and a building official. And if there is there any ordinance officer, paano? And I will add also that we will invite the chief of MAP. So it will be all coordinated. Okay?
I think
Noted,
the
Mr. Chair.
Also the
Honorable Bautista.
or chief of police, Mr. Chair. So there to
Chief of
discuss
police to.
This is about the strategy how to implement the ordinance.
Okay, we will include the chief of police.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, yesterday it was mentioned by Mr. Nevin Makirang that the two ports, construction of ports serve to decongest, no? The purpose of it is to decongest especially uh, parating na yung peak season, no? So to decongest the old GT port para malipat na siguro doon yung ibang kwan, no? Yung mga boats, no? Anyway, I have nothing against, no, the project, Mr. Chair, especially when it serves or when it address the problems on tourism aspect, Mr. Chair. But I think the dilemma there, Mr. Chair, is for the provincial government is the lack of coordinations with the local government. That's why I made a strong statement yesterday that what the local government of Malay needs is only that kung ano man ang project, whether it's a national or provincial project, dapat ay may proper coordination so that we can discuss thoroughly or properly para wait sisihan, no? So that's the point, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Pagsugiron. Okay, so is there any other privilege, Honorable Gallinero?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is only a clarification, no, with regards to, because last session we discussed about what happened with the SGLG and of course the benefits of the employee of this municipality with regards to the incentives, Mr. Chair, no? So when we say incentives, that's a privilege given to us because we've heard, no, from the claimor of other employees of this municipality that the Sangguniang Bayan is the one nagaharang ko nung itbonus, no? Actually, to be clarified, Mr. Chair, no, to those who are to our employees, lipay gani kita nga magkaroon sa dait bonus, no, at the same time kita man, pero ang aton lang kara, Mr. Chair, hay dapat nasa insakto, no, nga pagtao. So if there's any other na maobra naton with regards, sabi bisan wa kita nakapasa sa SGLG, maybe it's time that we have to talk with the proper authorities, no, with regards to the incentives that we are longing for, ginagusto man naton. So siguro through our secretary we can ask COA and other departments so that they will enlighten us if we are capable of that incentives that should be intended for every employee of this municipality, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for the clarification. Before Honorable Bautista, if I may recall, Honorable Bautista even suggested to initiate or on the part of the executive to start the processing of, if it is possible, the incentive or extra incentive, even if it will be disallowed. That's what I have I recalled. So may risgo pa nga niya, Honorable Bautista last time, sige, paubra lang natin, release. Kung madisallow galing, balik ang kwarta. So we are not depriving, the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay are not depriving on the said release of incentive. So aton lang obrahon, balon aton budget ag treasury kung maidiyahan nanda nga in the absence of the awards kung anong pwedeng obrahon nga para makataod incentive sa mga staff. Kita ito sa SB pagka if the resolution is needed, then of course tanan maaprubahan naton, di kita karon magharang tungod para sa empleyado naton. On the contrary, ang kay Honorable Gallinero nga ginako nga iagil lang sa eksakto ay tungod disunubay ko madisallow imaw, madisallowance imaw, ang gabayad nagabalik malisod-lisod. Kung ani ipagil lang sa eksakto, tinuan naton nga matawat incentive ang mga empleyado. Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Chair, yeah, that's true. I mentioned that last Tuesday regarding the sponsorship of resolution, no, to release any incentive to all of our regular employees. But to see to it also that do we have some basis.
Yes.
And I think the chief executive is something to discuss with the possibility really of giving that incentive to the chair. And we are really very much willing to pass or sponsor the resolution for that effect of the chair.
Okay. Honorable Aaron.
Clarification. Last session also, our budget officer informed us that we will wait for a budget circular regarding the release of such incentive.
Okay. Yeah, it was mentioned also by the budget officer. Honorable Gallinero,
Another privilege, Mr. Chair.
proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, Mr. Chair, this is in connection with the resolution, no? Declaring the airport manager in Katiklan a persona non grata, no? So until now, I think there was no result, no, with regards to that resolution. Actually, we tried to send them the letter that their airport manager, because of some reasons that they were not met within in this August body, kapila nato ni mapatawag baliwa sanda hay wa gyapon it action. So I would like again to reiterate that letter, Mr. Chair, addressing mismo doon sa President of the San Miguel Corporation or the CEO, Mr. Ramon Ang, no? Para nga matawan matustisya ang ato niya ginobra nga resolution, because until now parang walang action eh.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So
kindly note, Mr.
Okay,
Secretary,
Mr.
it seems
Chair.
that there's only not the island of Boracay is not alone. There are a lot of islands within the mainland. Island of Jettyport and island of Airport. They have their own government and their
Island of Magic.
oh, well, I agree with the proposal of Honorable Gallinero. Because it will be an insult to us also. We passed a resolution declaring the said manager persona non grata, and there was no action from the management. So anong gawa naton? Baliwala lang kita sa SB. Oh. So I would like to request our secretariat
Mr.
to immediately send
Mr.
the
Presiding,
second letter.
just
Honorable
comments.
Bautista.
Or maybe the agent that person is not conducting his office here in Malay, maybe in other municipality. So that's why he doesn't care about our resolution.
if that is the case, Mr. Chair, so then wala pa rin siyang karapatang tumapak dito sa bayan ng Malay. And beside until now, the terminal building of the airport is still in the vicinity of this municipality, no? So I think baka hindi nakarating yung letter natin doon sa presidente nila and CEO. That's why they don't give any action to our letter. So this time, Mr. Chair, we have to address that to the President, Mr. Ramon Ang, para he will know that may amogali ron ng mga tao imawya para sa isa Malay, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Honorable
Is there
Bautista.
any evidence that we saw that person in within our vicinity?
Diyan nga po.
Diyan pa rin? So maybe he doesn't did not receive the resolution.
Just ignoring, I think. Yeah.
Or just ignore the
Ignoring,
resolution.
yeah.
Mr.
Honorable
Chair,
Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, as far as I understand that once a person is declared as a persona non grata in one's municipality, he is not welcome, and plus that he cannot transact any business within the area, like halimbawa kumuha siya ng mga clearances sa barangay or dito sa LGU Malay, so he's not siguro hindi sa allowed permissible to do that, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Honorable Maming.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pabor man ko sa ni Galnero nga i-address sa andang presidente dahil basi kung andang presidente watak sayod nga may suplado bala mga tao dyan sa aton nga area. So pabor man ko nga ipadala nato ni sulat, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if there are no other privilege, then we will proceed. No question. We don't have guests, no, invited guests. So we will proceed to the incoming and referral. Okay.
Mr. Chair, may pending gapon tang invitation sa City Mall. Nawa gapon sa naka-appear hude. Di ba? We agreed before to call them with regards to the flooding problem to enlighten us of their engineering design of why is it when they built that structure, everything no? So, so far, I don't know what happened to our invitation. Was it ignored? Just like our invitation to the Transair or what? Are these giant companies starting to be difficult to deal with? I think we can be more difficult actually if we only put our foot down. Mr. Chair, I'd like to follow. Yun lang, imawang ako. Nang
Okay.
medyo, ang mga gagko nga kumpanya nga at ang gaben di tatong rules actually because it was very strong in the beginning, and then when they started coming in, knowing how hospitable the Filipinos are, kapin ang malay nun, no, kung gusto lang naton gibahon naton sa nahungiton di ba, sa ang pagpalanggaan to sa atong bisita baga ay sanda abot oras kita tang adjust sanda imbis na sandya adjust sa aton nga mga batas. So bukon tama from the beginning, so nasanay sanda imaw nakakatabo ang diya nga sitwasyon sa aton. So I think we have also to remember nga may sagabton na kita sa aton mga ulihing henerasyon. The more we give in to the greediness of what they call development, whose main purpose is profit. Do you think all of them are thinking about our kamangayran? I don't think so. Pagka pag nabuo ng gusto sa aton nga banwa, tapos nang andang pagkita ay pwede yung kita buhian manabagatan. So what will happen to our next generation? Ma'am lang ako nanto ang mga ginapatawag dapat gayan kita. We should find ways to because we are the gobyerno, we are the representative or people. Dapat naton panindugan ran, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Grab. Kindly note or reiterate our invitation to the management of City Mall.
Chair.
Okay, let's proceed to the incoming and referral. Mr. Secretary.
For the incoming referral, Mr. Chair. Number 1, a referral of the MPDC zoning administrator for endorsement of the application for zoning and building permit of various applicants in Boracay Island and Milan Aklan, namely Yolanda A. Laho for proposed 2-story. Number 2, Happy Cola Travel Consultancy and Leisure Development Corporation for renovation and additional of 2nd floor. Ms. Lizelle C. Sacapanyo, as built plan of 2-story commercial building, and Anilin C. Tapar, proposed 2-story 1-room commercial building, Mr. Chair.
Okay, all those mentioned applicants and proponents is being referred to the Committee on Construction.
Mr. Presiding,
Honorable Bautista.
since the process is embodied in our ordinance that it should be there must be an invitation and present to the plenary, unless maybe if that provision will be amended. So this afternoon parang ang schedule nila, di ba? I think they were invited this afternoon as they have been
There was a motion last session that the applicant or the proponent will just appear on the Committee of Housing, Land and Utilization and Building Construction.
Yes, Mr. Presiding, since it was mentioned last Tuesday with our Committee on Laws regarding especially, and as you mentioned also that this is not in the consonance with our internal rules. But however, the problem is it is within our ordinance that really requires the presentation of the applicants in the plenary. Unless maybe that provision on the ordinance 331 will be amended, or else we are violating the ordinance. Okay.
Okay. So what will happen to the motion that was approved last session?
No, it was the Mr. Chair, there was a proposal to amend that provision.
Okay. Honorable Pagsugiro.
Actually, Mr. Chair, I think, well, it's true that we differ for the implementations of referring the applications to the committee, and the proponent will just appear in the committee meeting. So because of the existing provisions on the ordinance, that the project proponents shall appear in the plenary, Mr. Chair. But I have already prepared, Mr. Chair, amendments to the existing ordinance. So maybe next session, this will be calendar, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So we will still accommodate the appearance of all the applicants or proponent, but it will be done this afternoon because they are not here, no? So we'll just proceed to the other incoming and referral.
Number 2, incoming referral, Mr. Chair, the annual budget of Municipal Economic Enterprise Department, MEED, for calendar year 2018, and the total outlay of 17,200,000.
Refer to Committee on Appropriation. Proceed.
Number 3, Barangay Ordinance Number 9, Series of 2017 of Barangay Poblacion.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Number 4, supplemental budget of Barangay Argao for CY 2017.
Refer to Committee on Appropriation.
Number 5, Mr. Chair, urgent letter from the Office of the Mayor, a request for passage of SB resolution granting a financial assistance and LGU counterpart payment to Boracay Foundation Incorporated for the launching issuance of a complete guidebook to Boracay Island in the amount of 300,000 pesos only.
Okay, since this is urgent, then we have to tackle this today in order for us to approve the said request of the municipal mayor. Any the Committee on Laws?
I think thank you, Mr. Chair. To be clarified with the members of this august body, actually it was the project of the Boracay Foundation. This is with regards to the guidebook, no, that includes all information within this municipality, no, with regards to those who are going to travel here. Actually, maybe our president of the BFI and of course the members of this august body also can add more with regards to this guidebook, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Graf.
Mr. Chair, actually the guidebook that we've been doing, this is going to be our third printing, is actually the most comprehensive, and parang informations being put there are really being prepared like a years, no, in a year at least, thoroughly studied and updated and everything. It's not something for commercial purposes, just for the sake of producing a directory or guidebook for a magazine. No, it's not. It's made for Boracay.
Okay.
By Boracay Hotel Association, para matawaan kita ba, Mr. Chair, ang aton nga mga bisita ay makakita libro or coffee book nga mabuo na ang tama nga impormasyon o wat dugang wat kugang updated every 2 years as much as possible. Even the photos are latest. We really spend a lot to produce these books, and it's been giving us, Boracay, no, a very good, a very positive response. This is the book that we give away to the foreign trips that we've been doing for the past 2 years. Or
sa Germany.
we brought a lot in London, and London suddenly became in the top 10 of our arrival, England. We brought it to Dubai, and suddenly they were again part of our top 10, and we brought it to Germany, we brought it to Russia, we brought it all over the world. This book is something we can be all proud of, made in Malay.
Okay.
By people who truly and genuinely cares about our island and our tourism industry.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, on that note,
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
I have
Bautista.
questions to the, still the president or no?
Still the president.
No?
Newly
Yeah, new
elected.
president. So I would like to ask the president, since this projects are initiated by BFI, how about the other, are the non-members non-BFI members are included in that guidebook, or
Actually,
BFI members lang?
In that book,
Yes.
actually there's a list of every of all how you call that, of all establishments. But the priority, of course, are the BFI members. And what is important there, Mr. Chair, is are as Mr. SB Bautista are the information of what's on this island really.
In Malay.
Is
Malay.
the book is already finished, no?
Yeah.
No, we are on our third printing. That's why we
Can we have the at
sure.
least
The
a
second
copy?
printing was wiped out already. I think we still have a lot in Manila of the second printing, which we will be bringing down here, because that's also the book we're giving away to our cruise ships. So, and it's given for free
Okay.
to
So
everybody.
Mr. Chair,
But we will give each of us a
we
copy.
request for a copy of that book, Mr. Chair, to give us all members of this body to have a copy of that book, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so maybe we can provide him a copy, Honorable
We will
Graf.
be ordering books to be sent to
Yeah.
Boracay.
Because some of that were given to the Office of the Tourism, no? Especially during foreign trips, no? And then like in Malaysia and Singapore before.
Oo.
And then suddenly Malaysian are
The top 10.
the top 5, no? Yung
top 5
Malaysian
of
no?
the arrivals.
arrivals. No?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Honorable Pagsugero.
I'd like to ask Honorable Graf, since he's the president of the BFI, so I would like to ask if how much the cost of the one book?
Guidebook,
Mr. Chair?
one
The
guidebook.
It's for free.
No,
You
for the
need
printing.
The printing.
For the
We have to
printing.
find out now. I think we are in the end part of producing it. It depends how many pages really.
Yes.
That's then the costing will be done.
So because the BFI
Because
is
it will be
asking
out
for
for 20.
300,000 pesos, so that's why aside from that we ask for a copy of that guidebook, but we need also to know how much the cost, so that we can also assist if there's a need to give
to add more.
budget. So we'll do
Wow.
so. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I
thank
will
you.
give you the answer in a bit.
Okay, so thank you, Honorable Pagsugiron. Actually, the guidebook is the copies are very good, no? The papers they use, it's something like it's not easily broken. So handy, yeah. Yes, Honorable Aaron.
My clarification is if the fund source kung sa diin bala, like in tourism, because the functions also of our tourism is tourism promotion, so the funds can be taken there. So I want to be clarified.
So I think the funds will be taken from the Office of the Mayor.
Office of the Mayor.
Ay, wa man ito naka-state ko.
Mr. Chair, I have to check this. Maybe we have a budget for promotion, diba? Tourism promotion. So I think we have to get the funds from out of that.
Maybe also, yeah,
item.
because we don't. Yeah.
And Mr. Chair, one more question to the President.
Yes, go ahead.
If you're a member of BIFA, you'll be highlighted in that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better to be a member of that.
Yes, better
Yes,
to
of
be
course.
member. And
It's
better to-
it's the privilege.
It's also
Will be the privilege then.
it's also better to be member because
we will be forced to join the.
Of course,
the
you are
foundation
very much
in order to
welcome.
be highlighted also on that book.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you are an officer, you have a very big ID picture there.
and it's also
Anyway,
important
not-
if
not
you are
about
member, Mr.
To be a
Honorable
member only
Bautista, if you are member, Honorable Bautista, you can ask me any question, I will answer because you are my member. If you're not my member, I may close my mouth.
Yeah, but this time, since we are in the privilege now to ask questions, since you are requesting budget from this
Yeah.
body, so I have now the privilege of to ask also, and he has also to answer me.
And I think my suggestion, no, can you put there municipal officials of Malay.
Yeah.
So that they know who are the officials of Malay.
And of course, and the cell phone number, of course.
Yeah, the
For the information.
with
Yeah,
corresponding
it
a little bit identification and your phone number so that they can, in case of emergency, they can contact us anytime.
The
Ay, wag na lang. Gusto ko nababot ng pangaybulig. No, joke Dahil kailangan na talaga to be
I will be
bold. It should
I will
be
give
in
it- I will be-
bigger para.
I will be suggesting that to our editorial team. Kasi we have
Include
an
naman,
editorial team, which part of the book is best
Yeah.
to be.
So,
Anyway,
to
the mayor have
allocate
a-
us one page
all
for the
officials.
municipal officials.
The governor have
Let's say.
been very supportive of that book. Every time we're printing like 2 times already. They gave 200,000, and that we gave him, and then he can have
Signature.
something like. But we cannot have so many
Or
because it
maybe
might appear like a
endorsement
program.
from his office.
Yeah, we cannot have too many
message.
there because it
A
might
message,
appear like
yeah.
a program. We can't make it appear like a program.
Okay. Okay, on that note, I think everything was clarified already. Honorable Gallinero, kindly do the formal motion.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Presiding. If there's no more clarification with regards to the request of our municipal mayor, I move that this urgent request of our municipal mayor for an SB resolution granting financial assistance and LGU counterpart payment to Boracay Foundation Incorporated for the launching issuance of a complete guidebook to Boracay Island in the amount of 300,000 pesos be approved.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Gallinero.
One thing more, Mr. Chair. Since I think the promotion is not only limited for Boracay, is that some of our tourism assets
Malay ito.
be included? Mr. Presiding?
Malay.
Ito sa
The whole
mainland?
Malay.
Yeah.
The whole Malay.
Included dun sa
Yeah,
libro?
it's all there. It's for free. Yeah, we give all our attractions here are all there.
The Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
Okay, we will continue the reading of the motion. So there's a motion from Honorable Gallinero for the approval of the request of the municipal mayor for an SB resolution granting financial assistance and LGU counterpart payment to Boracay Foundation Incorporated for the launching issuance of a complete guidebook to Boracay Island in the amount of 300,000 pesos only. Seconded by Honorable Lloyd, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed to committee report.
May number 6 pa, Mr. Chair. Resolution from Barangay Manok-Manok. Conversion and reclassification of barangay roads.
Okay, refer to Committee on Laws. Proceed to committee report.
As to the committee report, Mr. Chair, the Committee on Land Use on request for endorsement of the following. Letter A, Norberto C. Lorenzo, a built-in 2-story, 4-room residential commercial building. Letter B, Mr. Gerald A. Panagsakan, as built 1-story, 1-room residential commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok. Mr. Rolando T. Rompe, as built 1-story, 1-room residential commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok. Letter D, Mr. Salvador Bondo, construction of boathouse at Barangay Motag. And letter E, Mr. Joby Roberto, construction of 2-story commercial residential building.
Okay, the committee chairman on housing, land utilization, and building construction. Proceed.
The vice chairman, I think that's the chairman.
Okay,
Because he was the one who inspected the applicant's area.
Okay, the vice chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On behalf of the committee chair on the land use, Mr. Chair, since he was instructed by him last week to do the inspection, so it's mine the honor to render the committee report. So first, the request of Mr. Norberto Lorenzo. I inspected the area, Mr. Chair, at the location is in Barangay Manok-Manok. The owner of the property is family of Swallow, Mr. Chair, and it was he's only renting the property for 200 square meters, and where in fact there's already existing structures, and the structures is made of indigenous materials. It's a one-story structure, Mr. Chair, and I think the purpose only, Mr. Chair, why the proponent is applying for a building permit, because they engage in hauling services and they cannot secure a business permit without complying that the structures should be there must be a building permit or occupancy permit, no, from the local government of Malay, Mr. Chair. So for the setback, comply, the height requirements comply, and the open space, there's no problem. So in this case, Mr. Chair, so I move that the request for endorsement of Mr. Roberto Lorenzo be adopted and be approved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the Vice Chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent Norberto Lorenzo as built 2-story, 4 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Balabag. Seconded by Honorable Lloyd Maming. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Next is for Gerald Panagsagan. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I reported actually for Norberto Lorenzo. That's for Gerald Panagsagan, Mr. Chair. Instead of letter E, that's Gerald Panagsagan is in the locations of the properties in Barangay Manok-Manok.
Okay, so correction is noted. So let's go back to Norberto Lorenzo.
So we'll go back to Mr. Norberto Lorenzo. Actually, the locations or the area of the properties in Bulabog, Mr. Chair, it's part of Barangay Balabag, and there was already an existing building. It's along the main road, no, going to Bulabog area, and what I've noticed, Mr. Chair, is there's no proper setback, no, and the properties, but with regards to the height and open space, it's complied. It was complied, but the problem there is the setback from the existing road, Mr. Chair. So I don't know. Maybe for the meantime, I think the committee chair on land use is aware of the structure of Mr. Norberto Lorenzo. It was located in Sitio Bulabog. Ang kay Norberto Bula.
So the chairman.
If I can get a comment from the committee chair on land use.
Okay. Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Presiding, I cannot visualize the area. No? So there was no
it's near sa Matalaga bala. It's in
left
front
side.
of Chill Out
Yes.
Chill Out resorts.
Oh, but he has really to set back the chair because of the proposed widening of that road going to Bulabog Beach. Since there was application of Miss Jinky Reyes, and we require here to set back almost 2.5 meters, I think, from the edge of that road to have the two-way lanes in that area of the chair. So they have really they must really set back the properties on that road, Mr. Chair.
The problem in this area, Mr. Chair, in the other side of the road, it was Chill Out resorts and owned by certain Janita Jimenez. Ang problema, there's also an existing fence na which is according to them na nagbigay na ng dati ng 1.5 setback. Pero if you look at the perimeter fence, yun kailangan magsi-setback pa rin yun, Mr. Chair, no? So if we will um, request no the Mr. Lorenzo to sit back for another 1.5 meter, so still there's a need for Janet Jimenez to sit back the same
Yeah.
para to widen the road, Mr. Chair. So I think we can endorse the request of Mr. Norberto Lorenzo, provided that he will execute a letter of undertakings that since there is it's possible no because temporary lang naman ang fence na eh, but the structure I think we will require him to execute a letter of undertakings that he will sit back at least 1.5 meter from the edge of the road, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Yung sa harapan niya, Mr. Chair, dahil may existing na fence. Ito, wala naman sa building permit. No, fencing permit yan eh. So, once ma-implement siguro ang widening, so they have to remove it. In order
Okay.
to comply the setback requirement, Mr. Presiding.
Okay.
Ang problema kasi ever since, Mr. Chair, as far as I know, na ayaw na daw magbigay ng kwan dahil nagbigay ng 1.5 meters yung sa kabila. So that's according to them na kung tingnan mo rin talaga yung Bulabog Road, ay yun talagang medyo nakabigay ng problema doon eh.
Dahil,
Okay,
dahil
Honorable
barangay road na yan,
Bautista.
Mr. Chair, so at least a minimum of 6 meters talagang ma-require ka sa area. Dahil barangay road na yan, Mr. Chair, as identified as barangay road. So, minimum is 6 meters eh. So, 2 meters both side 4, and then 1 meter shouldering. So, at least we need 6 meters road there, Mr. Chair, to comply with the barangay road requirement.
Okay. Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think that's why we required them to have an endorsement so that it will be clearly no violations at all. No? For my own observation, Mr. Chair, I think the one that we are implementing on our endorsement, or what we are looking for our endorsement, is to comply all the ordinances intended for construction of building. Now, if there is a violation, Mr. Chair, I think that should not be endorsed unless otherwise they complied the recommendations of the committee, the land use. So if there's a violation, so they have to follow the violations. But we are very good enough that we just ask them for the undertakings that they have to remove if kung ubrahon nun aton nga karsada, aton nga karsada ubrahon nun, hay i-atras nanda. Pero para ma-avoid naton do problema, much better that they have to comply, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So,
Honorable
I think, Mr. Chair, no, sa actual observations, if both establishment will sit back for 1.5 meters, I think that should be enough, no, para makaagi ang daywa kasalakyan. Because right now, bisan daywa lang ka tricycle gani, medyo may problema. So we will require all the establishments in that Bulabog roads to comply or to at least to sit back for 1.5 meters, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Pagsugiron, are we talking of their fencing violation, or now the application for the structure, are they violating also the setback, or anong problema kung ang andang proposed nga building may violation lagi sa setback?
Kung tanawan binaton for the sa case sabi ni Norberto Lorenzo, may existing mga structure, no. So kung tayo naton hay ang medyo open pa bis dalo may, pero ang structure na because he is proposing for a two-story building, no. So may extension ni mao. So kung tayo naton kung idiretso na ang haligi, hay may violation mo sa setback.
Ngani, pero ang existing na ng structure sa dalom, wide violation.
Dahil anang medyo open pa ta sa prente sa first floor. Pero ang anang pero nakakuan mo, Mr. Chair, nakaprotrude mo. So kung sundan na to, butangan na to it poste, hay may violation mo sa
So hindi
sa
na to
setback.
pagsuktan ang poste mo dito sa dalom. Tungod
So that's
ang usli allowed masanda sa 1.5 meters eh.
So that's why my recommendations is we ca we I can recommend for the endorsement of the applications provided that he will execute a letter of undertakings that he will provide a 1.5 meter setback, Mr. Chair.
No, but the problem there is if we will ask them to execute undertaking, but first they will violate and then execute an undertaking, then it's not good also.
No,
So,
no,
ang
I
kinanglan
think
natin na kung may violation lagi sa setback, sundo nanda ang sa dalom lang, di ron pwede sa naka-isdog. So, no need of undertaking. E tungod kung papasok natin nga, maposte man daw to may violation, undertaking na yun, paano natin mapaguba sa uli, gaabo ang problema. So, stick lang kita ito sa andang building sa dalom, di ron magdugang sa printe. If the violation is under fencing, ang sa fencing nanda, di pabuol ang fencing.
siguro, Mr. Chair, kung siguro we will remind only the zoning office that during the butangin gitnang damoran it kuanay poste, panibagong poste ay mga reinforcement. So malang siguro nga kuananda conduct sa that actual nga the presence is there during the kuan siguro pagbutang establishment of the foundations.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Ito mga ni Mr. Chair, always reiterating na ang sa zoning office, dapat hindi sana mag-submit application niya nga may problema. Ayuso niya ginanda. Dahil atong i-check na natin kung sakto eh. Ang problema, sa na ginato may problema, dapat ay ayuso na nanandaro problema bago na i-submit niya ka for endorsement. Diba? Hindi nga kita mag-decide kung ano obrahon sa harong problema. Diba? Ay mo ra kung instruct one I always reiterating the instruction sa office. We will not accept any application na may problema.
Yeah.
Kasi correct ano yung problema bago na i-submit niya for endorsement.
Yeah. Precisely, that should be the case. That should be the case. And we will likawan naton ang kung as much as possible ang undertaking ang undertaking pwede apply rin sa mga existing no tayo pero kung new construction hindi dapat what undertaking kung undertaking na mabibilar anay undertaking na yon san o gupon lang gupon tungkol gintawan naton. So mas in this case, Honorable Pagsugiron, can we defer your recommendation? Para ibalik natin sa zoning anay, let's follow the instruction of the committee chairman. Nga kung may problema, hindi kita na mag-accommodate, agad wa kita itwan.
Okay, in that case, Mr. Chair, so I move to defer the request of Mr. Norberto Lorenzo for endorsement.
Okay, so motion from the Vice Chairman of the committee on building construction move for the deferment of the endorsement of the proponent Norberto Lorenzo. So let's proceed to the third one, Mr. Orlando Rompi.
For letter C, Mr. Chair, this is for the request of Mr. Orlando Rompi. As built, one-story, one-room residential commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok. Actually, the area of Mr. Orlando Rompi and Mr. Gerald Panagsagan is in the same location, Mr. Chair. So I think there's already existing structures. It's also made in of indigenous materials. Parang kuha nga wala nga siyang dating. But I think the purpose is the same since the Mr. Rompe also is engaged in hauling services, so the purpose of their applying for building permit is to secure a business permit, no, Mr. Chair. So there were no violations with regards to setback, height, and open space, Mr. Chair. So in this case, so I move that the request of Mr. Rolando Rompi for SB endorsement be approved and adopted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the Vice Chairman uh, for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Mr. Rolando Rompi, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed to the next one, Mr. Salvador Bundok.
Yes,
Honorable
Mr. Chairman.
Bautista.
Actually, the endorsement of the application of Salvador Bondok was deferred last Tuesday because we required him to submit a resolution from the barangay, no, for the endorsement of his project. And he has already submitted the endorsement from barangay. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move for the endorsement of the application of the building zoning clearance and for the zoning permit and building permit of Mr. Salvador Bondok.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Mr. Salvador Bundok, seconded by Honorable Gallinero. So the said motion is hereby approved. So let's proceed to
Mr. Chair.
Honorable.
This is only for the informations of the August body. With regards to the applications of Eros Hotel, since this was referred back to the zoning, but inspected this area, and one thing I've noticed there, Mr. Chair, is that no parking area provided, no provision for solid, no provision for STP, no, since they're applying for 61 room, and no area for waste processing, and the open space as per their applications. Kung tingnan natin ay compliance but the actual, no, Mr. Chair, since the area is more than 1,000 square meters, so they are obliged to give 40% open space. But you know, the actual, as we measured, no, together with the zoning representative, the supposed to be the open space is 452 square meters, but the actual open space is only 150 square meters, Mr. Chair, no? So that is only for the records of the August body, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Noted.
Mr.
Honorable.
How can we even endorse
Rap.
something that we know? Para sa bulag ba kita hindi kita? There are really developers like them, no? A lot of developers coming to our island have this mentality now to maximize every inch of their development, despite the being violator, blatant gid abi ang grabe abi ang ano nandam juwa aba it pasin ano. I think how can we even endorse something like that instead of giving a 40 meters open space? It's only giving us a 100 10% open space. But how can that be?
I think
Mr.
with
Chair?
that, Mr.
Honorable
Presiding, I
Bautista.
think we want to know from the two offices as what are the action taken by their office regarding these violations. No? Ito nga in spite of that violations, isubmit ba na katon for endorsement? So,
Shall we
so it was deferred, no, for compliance with the ordinance, but ano ang action taken by the two offices, the zoning office and the building office, no? Ano ba ang ginawa nila with that violations? Pabayaan lang ba makaroon, mag-operate na naman wala mga permits? So, imoro nga na, very lax dapat ay i-implement na talaga. Anyway, we will discuss also on Tuesday, no, regarding the implementations, the strategy nga. Or kugang lang siguro sa support ng mga offices man imong makaroon masandaron.
Okay. Okay, so let's move to
May isa pa yung ano.
Kay Mr. Jobe Roberto, Mr. Chair.
okay, the
Yes,
committee
number
chairman.
one, Mr. Chair. This was also deferred because of in order to really for the instruction to comply because there is an existing structures na may violation din. So we recommended for the demolition of that portion, and they complied after the inspection of the zoning office, Mr. Chair. So the application of Mr. Joby Roberto, since there was already a compliance, so I move for the endorsement of the application of Joby Roberto, Mr. Presiding.
Okay.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the said proponent, seconded by Honorable Pilinero. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed to the budget committee.
Committee report number 2, Mr. Chair. The Committee on Budget and Appropriation regarding annual budgets of Barangay Naasog and Kugon for calendar year 2017.
Okay, the committee chairman. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is with regards to the supplemental budget of Barangay Cogon for calendar year 2017. The amount that the supplemental budget of Barangay Cogon, or amounting to 172,956.20, and the supplemental budget of Barangay Naasog is amounting to 103,500.51. So upon verification, and it was found that this budget has compelled substantially with the provision of the local government code and other budgetary issuances. Therefore, Mr. Chair, I move that this committee report be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay, a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding the budget and appropriation, annual budget of Barangay Naasog and Kugon for calendar year 2017, seconded by Honorable Maming. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed to the business for the day.
Mr. Chair, the business for the day for second reading. Number 1, a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance number 1, series of 2017 of Barangay Cubay Norte.
Okay, proceed the committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is with regards to the Barangay Ordinance of Barangay Cubay Norte. This is with regards to Ordinance number 01, series of 2017 of Barangay Cubay Norte. This is with regards to their this is with regards to the ID system of Barangay Cubay Norte. No? So again, Mr. Chair, this humble representation is now ready for any clarification with regards to the Barangay Ordinance of Barangay Cubay Norte with regards to their ID system. I think I was already discussed last session about the barangay identification card of this Barangay Cubay Norte, Mr. Chair. So if there's no more clarification, Mr. Chair, I move that this barangay ordinance or Barangay Cubay Norte with regards to their identification card be approved on the second and final reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of a resolution approving Barangay Ordinance number 01, series of 2017 of Barangay Cubay Norte, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved.
Number
Proceed.
2, Mr. Chair, an omnibus resolution approving supplemental budgets of barangays Cubay Sur, Cubay Norte, Dumlog, and Balosbos.
Proceed, the committee chairman.
Again, Mr. Chair, this is with regards to the supplemental budget submitted to us by the three barangays. We have Cubay Norte, Dumulog, 4 barangays, Cubay Sur, Cubay Norte, Dumulog, and Balosbos. And also Barangay Katiklan, Mr. Chair.
Okay, proceed.
So, if there's no more clarification, Mr. Chair, I move that this omnibus resolution approving supplemental budget of Barangay Cubay Sur, Cubay Norte, Dumulog, Balosbos, and Barangay Katiklan be approved on the second and final reading.
Okay, so There's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the resolution regarding the omnibus resolution approving supplemental budgets for Barangay Kubay Sur, Kubay Norte, Dumlog, and Balosbos, and Barangay Katiklan, seconded by Honorable Lloyd. So the said resolution is hereby approved. Proceed.
Number 3, Mr. Chair, a resolution authorizing the municipal mayor, Honorable Cesar Escawaling, to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Qualimedic Marketing regarding installation of Horiba ABX Pentra 200 fully automated chemistry analyzer and fine care FIA meter, fluorescence immunoassay rapid quantitative test instrument at Malay Municipal Health Office Annex Clinical Laboratory, Boracay Island, Malay, Aklan.
Okay, the committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is with regards to the resolution authorizing our municipal mayor, Ciceron Escawaling, to enter into a memorandum agreement with Qualimedic Marketing regarding the installation of a unit of Horiba ABX Pintra 200 fully automated chemistry analyzer and a unit of fine care FIA meter, fluorescence immunoassay rapid quantitative test instrument at Malay Municipal Health Office Annex Clinical Laboratory at Barangay Balabag, Boracay, Malay, Aklan. This is with regards to these machines, Mr. Chair, that our LGU Malay will be to have a memorandum of understanding, no, because they have the facilities and these machines that it will be used by our municipal health office, no, particular in chemistry and immunology test, no, reagent including special chemistry test, Mr. Chair, and this memorandum agreement will last until 5 years, Mr. Chair. So if there's any clarification, Mr. Chair, this sample presentation is now ready for
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Is this renewal of the previous memorandum agreement?
This is, I think, new.
This is new?
Yeah.
So why it took 5 years? Why we allow 5 years contract or agreement?
According to them,
what's the reason behind why not 3 years, why not 4 years, or 2 years, why 5 years?
It's very hard to find this kind of instrument that it will be only services on serving on one area. Medyo budlay bila kuno so yun ang harang nga mga kwan nga equipment, no. So that's why they have this 5-year contract, no, nga gin-submit.
So do they submitted to us the cost of these equipments?
As far as we are concerned, no, parang wa pa nanda masubmit sa aton ang cost. Ang kuan nanda nga upon signing the resolution, that will be the time that they have this cost.
Ang sa letter nila sa
free?
officer free ang
Free?
ang condition ng isang agents nila nga gamiton is kanda mabaw exclusive nga supplier.
So how much is the cost of?
I think it's pre-installation.
Pre-installation.
I mean, every time that we we're using, they are charging from us. Yung mga
Mr. Chair, ang agents lang,
agents.
mga
So how
gamit
much is the cost of that agents? Dahil doon sila kikita eh. And then do we have a budget for next year regarding the uses of in order to use these equipments?
I think that was included already on the budget of 2018.
So how much is the budget for that?
Pila to ang budget for that? Wa isa ako ng kopya eh. If it was under the MHO, but I'm not specific if how much.
Kasi my purpose, Mr. Presiding, is so we want to know the cost of the equipment and the cost also of the agents that we are using. Then kung pwede man lang kita magbakag that equipments, ano naman, diba?
Agreement pa kita.
Naman makigmuwa pa kita sa ibang companies if we can buy that equipments. Or baka mas mahal pero agents na ginagamit kaysa equipments. So dapat they have to give us the data o how much is the cost of the equipments at saka yung cost ng agents na ginagamit. Okay. And how many agents yung estimated natin na mga gamit for 1 year in order to provide an amount for appropriation.
Okay, so if
Mr.
that is
Presiding.
the case, Mr. Chair, we would like again to inquire from the MHO, no, with regards to this, because this was not answered clearly by the representative, no? Because parang wala naman matakal.
Oh, or Mr. President, is this a company is accredited with the Department of Health? Or
Yes.
ano ba mga agencies na they are the accreditation, may accreditation sila na
In some other places.
Yeah.
no?
talk
Okay.
about legality of that company, the existence, and their company profile. Of course, we have to know na gaano ba kalaking kumpanya yan. If in case may problema, are they operating now or bago pa lang? So I think we have to know those data, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so noted, duly noted those observation, Honorable Bautista. So, Mr. Secretary, please take note those queries of Honorable Bautista so that we can ask again the image of office with regards to that concern. So, in this on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move to defer first the approval of this resolution.
Okay, noted.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to
Honorable
ask if I'm not aware if we have provided a copy of that MOA. Can we ask for a copy of that MOA, Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
May
Okay,
kopya kita.
just provide copies to the members.
Not the resolutions, but the
MOA.
MOA.
Okay, require. What? Resolution.
Okay, so let's proceed to the
provide-
third and final reading.
For the third and final reading, Mr. Chair, resolution designating official authorized signatories to all depository accounts of the Municipality of Malay with all banking institutions where the local government unit or Municipality of Malay, Aklan bears an account.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Galinero.
as chairman of the Committee on Laws, this is now on the third and final reading. I move to defer first this approval of this said resolution because of some important matters or important points that would be clarified with regards to this resolution, Mr. Chair. So I move to defer first the approval of this resolution for some points, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Seconded,
so
Mr. Chair.
there's a motion from the committee chairman for the deferment of a resolution designating official authorized signatories to all depository accounts of Municipality of Malay, Aklan with all banking institution where the local government unit, Municipality of Malay, Aklan bears an account. Seconded by Honorable Bautista, so the said motion is hereby approved. So let's proceed to unassigned business.
We have no unassigned business, Mr. Chair.
Before we proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Lilibet Sacapanyo. Project proposal, okay. 1 o'clock, sige. Hindi lang natin pag-i-action. Okay. Other matters?
Other matters, Mr. Chair, we have here a letter from the Office of the Municipal Mayor regarding the Municipal Ordinance 373. Sirs, Madams, I am constrained to oppose Municipal Ordinance numbers 373 series of 2017 because it is against the law. The power devolved unto the LGU to regulate prices on any business activity conducted within its territory pursuant to the local government law cannot be further devolved unto any private person or entity. Section 2, paragraph B of the proposed ordinance gives the power unto an association, which is a private entity, to fix the rates intended to be regulated. We are government by the people and for the people. We are here to exercise the powers vested upon us and not to just follow what an association would impose upon us. For your consideration, truly yours, Cicero Escawali, Municipal Mayor. Mr. Chair, Municipal Ordinance 373, Series of 2017 is an ordinance regulating the imposition of rates of water sports activities within the Municipality of Malay and imposing penalties for violations thereof.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
I think the comments is parang I can't understand why they make kind of comments. And actually, I think they have to get first the minutes, no, of the committee hearing. And the association itself is they were the one who submitted and regulated their operation. And there's no violation because this is part of regulating in order to to stop the abuse, no, of imposition of rates, no? And especially on water sports, no, that would be detrimental to tourism industry dahil baka pinagustot sa dait pinasakao na, no. So by that I think the committee chair on on tourism or it was referred to that and even the sponsor of the ordinance will say something on the comments after presiding. I think the purpose of this ordinance is very it's very good.
Okay. Is this ordinance was signed also by the Honorable Mayor?
Not yet referred back.
Actually,
Invito, Mr. Chair, the story parang binito na yung ordinance na presiding.
Okay.
Bito yan, yung Bito.
Okay, so we will refer this to
Mr. Chair,
Committee on Tourism.
I would like to comment on the actually speaking of against the law, so there would be a reference to follow, no. If there is a law states that this ordinance is violative or against the law, then we have nothing to do to follow. But if speaking of against the law without showing the reference or legal basis, then how come, no? And actually that ordinance, Mr. is only adopting the submitted rates by different associations, and that is one of and part of the solutions, no, addressing the concerns, because it's a long time problems, and who will regulate them, who will support them. In fact, we're the one, the LG is the one who regulate their operations, Mr. by virtue of not only issuing or issuance of business permits, and by virtue of the accreditations of the local government, then the rates is one of their main problems ever since, Mr. Chair, and they're the one also proposing for that, no. For us is we act only based on their proposals, Mr. Chair, and I don't see any things that wrong on that, no, unless Mr. Chair, if there is existing law states that by crafting that ordinance or regulations is against the law, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Probably we can refer it back to the Committee on Laws, no? And we will seek guidance from the legal department or our legal officer or a private lawyer, so we can get the essence of if there's any violation on the said ordinance. And if we find that everything is in order and it's legal, then that's the time we will decide if we will override the veto of the Office of the Mayor.
I'm subsiding.
Honorable
there was
Bautista.
no mention of provision of any law that says that the legality of the ordinance.
There should be a basis and reference on what law is being violated, what provision of the
that law.
local government code was violated. That should be specific on his opposition.
That is probably my point of view, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we will.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, on that regards, Mr. Chair, siguro that ordinance ibalik natin sa Committee on Laws, and then we will invite them for discussions.
Okay.
The legal officer and the Office of the Mayor, Mr.
Okay.
Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
That's good. So we will refer it back to the Committee on Laws. Okay. Announcement.
We have another matter, Mr. Chair. This
okay.
is from the Office of the Municipal Health Office regarding the request for water testing of all refilling stations in mainland Malay. The reply of Dr. Salaver, Mr. Chair, in reference to the letter received from your office regarding the request of water testing of all water refilling stations in mainland Malay, we would like to inform the Sangguniang Bayan members of this municipality that the Municipal Health Office, through Environmental Health Sanitation Unit, is conducting a regular monitoring and water sampling to all water refilling stations, ice plants, and water districts on a monthly basis since October 2013. This is in compliance to Section 14, mandatory water examination to all water supply providers of the municipality of Malay, to ensure that the water served to our constituents is safe for drinking. Our water laboratory located at Malay Health Office is accredited by the Department of Health. Standards for water bacteriological examination conforms to the criteria set by the Philippine National Standards for Drinking Water. For your information and guidance, yours in public service, Adrian D. Salaber, MD, Municipal Health Officer.
Okay,
So,
Honorable Bautista.
He mentioned about ice plant in the mainland. Is there any ice plant operating in the mainland?
Sa tindahan, Mr. Chair, na ito, may ice
Ice
plant.
plant gina or gabaligalat ice?
Ice plant, yun ko gaobra sa nat ice. Oh.
Ang ako mo lang, Mr. Chair, I'm asking about ice plant dahil yung application at the ice plant sa Biray nga bago ba? Are they operating now? Storage pa na? Cold storage, ito ice plant eh.
No, iba.
They put there the goods before transferring to
So,
Boracay.
kuryente lang.
Freezer,
Parang
Walang
daw
freezer.
refer. Refer.
Refer lata. Akala ko pa ice plant.
Okay.
So, how regular is the inspection?
Regular
the water
monitoring,
testing?
Mr. Chair, regular monitoring, monthly basis.
Monthly basis.
Since October 2013.
Okay. So, what happened now with the they was because they were the one who submitted to us a copy of their testing report, no? The report of the result of their testing sa isa ka water refilling station. I think it's corrected na ba, Madam EBC President?
Last time we have a health board meeting and this issue is being brought regarding the water refilling station in Katiklan and the mayor acted on it.
Okay. And we're awaiting also for the result of the water testing, no, of the Malay Water District and the BIWC. Okay. So if the result were available, then we will discuss it again. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiron.
During our last session, I made mentions that if possible that the inspections to be conducted by the Health Office, Mr. Chair, is to include Boracay because there are so many refilling stations also operates in Boracay and we don't know because we're talking of supplying water to every individual and we don't know that they're supplying also the same with
Okay.
concerns
So we will send the letter again to our health officer to conduct inspection also to all refilling water station in Boracay. Thank you, Honorable Pagsugiron. Is there any other?
I have 3 announcements, Mr. Chair. First, this is with regard to the proposal of ECOS Sanitary Landfill and Waste Management Corporation to build, own, operate a state-of-the-art municipal solid waste landfill facility. We have to convene tomorrow for as a committee as a whole at 9:30.
9:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 or 10?
10.
Tomorrow, as committee as a whole.
Committee as a whole at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Second announcement, sir. This is from this letter from the training director of community-based sustainable tourism. I think it's an invitation to your local tourism stakeholders for a local governance capability development training program on community-based Sustainable Tourism, a tool for environmental conservation and socio-economic development on December 6, 7, and 8, 2017 at the City State Asturias Hotel Palawan, South National Highway, Tinigiban, Puerto Princesa, Palawan. The training program is intended for the following tourism stakeholders: the Sangguniang and the Secretariat for the enactment of appropriate tourism-related ordinances and resolutions, the barangays, and tourism officers, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And the last announcement is bonus incentive.
Mr. Chair, our last announcement is your memorandum order designating the Honorable Natalie C. Paderes as acting Vice Mayor in view of your travel to Switzerland, effective November 22 to December 8, 2017.
Acting. Okay, so Honorable Paderes will be the acting Vice Mayor for the said period. Okay, so
no more announcements, Mr. Chair.
we still have to accommodate the proponent, but we will do that after lunch. So session is suspended for lunch.
Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted to the
That's why we invited you because of this interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire
to besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, my dignity, and my personality, even members of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming sa
29th regular session is now resumed. We have here our representative from the zoning office. Okay, go ahead.
In behalf of kay Engineer Joanne, so ako lang ang ginupan nga mag-assign. So ang una na itong kliyente si Yolanda A. Laho. So na-endorse na last time ko no.
Yolanda
Laho. Laho,
Is
sir.
there any representative from Yolanda Laho?
Yolanda.
Please take your seat, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir. So ang ati ko sir, na-endorse na last time, kaso ay ginapabailuhan lang na title ito ng project. So last time na sir, ay residential lang yung mga building. So sa tanggang proposal na proposed 2-story, 5 rooms residential commercial building with roof deck. So at na-inspection yung manjak man sir last time.
Okay. Committee on Land Use.
Good afternoon, Ma'am Laho. Ang ako ang galing ato, atong parking space. So, paano na?
Sa parking space po.
Mm.
Bali, PD Road po yun. Bali,
O nga ni.
ano na lang po sa barangay na yung diretso na lang po yung gawa ng bahay. Wala na yung mga wala na po yung mga ano ba yan? Inilagay na lang po ng islas na residential at commercial.
O nga ni, pero ang pag-inspection naman na bitong ato yun, may, di ba, may ang seatback na to sa Kasada, wa.
Bali po, yun po yung roadway na dinonate po sa namin doon sa area na yun.
Pila ka kwarto ang pan kara?
5.
Additional.
5 rooms?
5 rooms, sir.
5
Opo.
rooms.
Opo.
Ang private road pag-apos na makuna, ang low area.
Opo. Sa amin po yun.
Okay. Dali lang sa presiding.
Okay.
Di barangay chairman og Balabag. Pwede ta pangayo. Anong status it dagan nyo na sa
ang sa may Kilid Hospital palusot sa kan.
Oo. O nga Nga ni, so what 4 meters? O nga ni, so ang
Yun, tama,
pero
sir.
ang 4 meters ng donation, di tao kita? Pilang
Bali,
meters?
sir,
Sigurado ang kuwan.
Andun po yung sa deed of donation, yung road right of way po.
Ilang
442 square meter and 400 square meter. Is exactly, sir, yung right of way sa PD Road. Nandun po naka-indicate sa form.
Pero ang tanong ko kasi gaano kalapad yung binigay, gaano kalapad? 3 meters ba o 2 meters lang?
400 po yung metro to sa halin sa Amon. Ang tong banda sa Hainan, sir, high 442
square meters.
Yes, sir.
O
Andun
nga
po nabasa ko po dun sa ano.
No, nga ni, pero ang gusto ba akong kung pilang metros ang lapad baga, ang haba?
Hindi.
Bali, all in all, it was 400 square meters yung donation.
Opo.
Hindi nyo na ano kung ilan yung haba at saka ilan yung lapad. Wala.
Opo.
Ang baraka nga to mo to nag-encroach no sa ang baraka ba na? Ang baraka mo ba nag-encroach to sa dagan, kilid?
Hindi, sir, dati na po namin yun na alagyan. Dati na po namin bahay yun. Na nung inayos yung bahay sa kabila, sir, nilipatan namin ng ubra nga bagay hay dahil nga lisod bay kung magbinagyot payag bay ta. Naglipat kami pero dati na po na may tindahan doon.
Ganyan niya pa dyan parang utak ni mo to para in case ba emergency hay. Di ba?
Dati naman po may tindahan.
Mga I mean, ganyan pa dyan parang utak ni mo ang dagan adjust ang kuro bago nagbutlang konkreto para in kaso emergency susugod, may madasig ang movement.
Pero in fairness to Mrs. Laho, kayo lang yung nag-donate ng right of way. Yung kabila hindi nagbigay.
Oo, haron gid Maut Mao nga naglikot ay mao sa ospital nga ron. Dapat diretsot ay mao. Ay iwat nagtao sa
right of way.
Opo, yung kabila.
No, ani. Pero ang imbis nga to nga nagsunod ako tani mo ang ali sa babaw di tadlong konta galing nabante kat imo sa dagan nag-stand dito abot kay mo.
Hindi, sir, bali yun lang talaga po yung na sinundan ko na PD Road. Sa amin na po yung talaga bali kami na nga po talaga nag ng daan.
Basta imo ro mas siding may problema ro kagaparon right of way. Na dapat kuntahin na providean atong na ang purpose karon is in case baga may mga matabo sugod ay di ba sa naton sa mga sunog ay kung may mga baho nga truck malisod ito kato misot ro di ka subgang ang agang bago mag-abot sa imo mga padjapad ba ta paabot to kato nag-istot ang area kasada so imo man lang ron na subsiding.
So what's the pleasure of the committee?
Anyway, na-endorse yung man nga idatira.
Only the title ang
ang kwan mo lang ay maron ang title from just only change from residential to commercial.
Okay.
Bintahan mga neron para mabaho-baho man bayaran na sa property tax.
So anyway, siguro ang pihak roman kuan nato nga mag-provide man sa right of way. Dahil nakataoron si Mrs. Laho
Okay, I think so with that, thank you for your presence for the second presentation and I move that the application of Ms. Yolanda Laho will be endorsed subsiding.
So any second motion from the body? So it has been moved and seconded that the building or application of Mrs. Laho, the proposed 2-story 5 rooms with store be endorsed. Okay, thank you, Mrs. Laho. Okay, next.
So sa aton nga sunod nga kliyente ay si authorized representative na si Andrew S. Ong. Anang name ng applicant is Happy Cola Consultancy and Leisure Development Corporation. Ang name ng project is renovation and additional of second floor. Ang ground floor 7 showrooms. Second floor is 3 staff rooms with office. Area is 2,300 square meter. Right over land is contract of lease. CLUP classification low density tourist commercial zone T1. Location is Barangay Yapak, Boracay, Malay, Aklan.
Okay, so good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir Andrew. Okay, so ano na ba si may Leisure Development Corporation? So it means leisure may is there
may proposals sanda nga may ano pa ron, may travel agency, may instructional room sanda sa second floor kasi they will be
may showroom
may showroom, they will be selling yung
units.
Nakita mo rin yung beds nga atong ngaron nga kat uso makaron nga may memory foam ngaron nga na ginabutang nimo on top of your bed para naming tugog sa shop Japan
sleeper parang sleeper foam,
something like that. They're selling something like that sa
okay.
Later on
ay yung wasi mara makabulong itamon nga kuan sa baga.
Ay, oo.
Term ay medyo gadin ano ja aga tao mga ano si imo nga leisure means
recreation.
May mauro mga siguro gabutang pa mo later on may restaurant mo sang kiring restaurant ba what
leisure ba si may mga playing ano na man o may bulang
may ano lang instructional
okay
sa second floor.
Committee chair and land use and the members.
May firewall
sa tabi one side
dikit sa kan.
Di ba itong firewall allowed mo lang sa 200 square meters below? Ay 2,300 square meters.
Hindi yung ano nyo, yung floor area. Ilang square meters?
1,200 malang 1,200 square meters.
Sa Mr. Chair?
Yes,
sa ordinansa na to, below 200 ano lang pwede.
Ang pwede nga magka-firewall.
200 below.
Oh, 200 below. But if it's more than that, they're not supposed to.
So I think if more than that, they have the option to have firewall or not. Hindi man ang interpretation. So there should be no firewall.
Mga small landowner, mga little ano lang mga. Ibang purpose pag habang ako nag-bed kita itong rule para pagbigyan nato na itong mga kasimanwa dyan nga ating intok lang ka property ang anda nabilin. So ibaw actually ang dahilan not for big properties nga ibaw they have all the options nga mag atras ang kiri sa perimeter fence or whatever sa boundary but not to build firewall.
Pero ang sa firewall nyo sir may ano nan ng sa boundary o sa sulod pa
boundary
sa boundary so gin firewall nanda
so may violation Mr. Presiding mo nga ni so dai gina-start sa giba construction nga wa anay ga-apply it mga permits so the problema tayo
renovation no renovation.
So
may building permits nanda before. So how come that they were issued a building permit with a violation, no? Kaya may firewall Existing ang firewall?
Sa likod at that time. Sa likod ang firewall existing at aron. Ang sa likod is fairways anang basurahan at house fairways di karon.
So ang owner siya ay actually sounds
corporation.
Asians, no? Asians.
Oh, Asian, no?
Asians,
Taiwanese.
so,
Taiwanese. Chinese.
Ibaw dyan nga ano na to, medyo matanda dyan, they really maximize every space, every inch of their,
So I think there should
property.
this application of Happy Kula Travel inspect pa naman ng
O, pero
land
Mr.
use.
Chairman, pero may violation ba? Ang gusto kong bagon, may violation, inspection nun mo ito. Hindi mo mga umana. Nakatindog no firewall eh. Front of firewall. Left. May sa print pero
Have
sa
you
rear
any
may-
idea of
sa
this?
front, sa left, 2 meters, and rear, may firewall man sa likod.
Paano rin?
Two sides ang
Two sides
firewall.
ang firewall. So, mabubahot ang violation na dahil ang atong required. Sino ro nag-start it kaswasong gara? Sino ro contractor karon?
Dati.
Kami man nag-ubra.
Ha?
Kami man kasi among pag dumdum hayro, firewall is allowed. Ay, the building code doesn't say being
Hindi, no, tag-istorya building code. Yan, building code ba? Mga kinakat endorsement eh. Diba? Eh, marong kagulo-gulo kita man sa siding. Ginaga ang, talking of building code ba? So, kung building code, hindi mo endorse O, paano nakabutang sa building code, may endorsement?
Diba? May ordinansa kita.
May ordinance kita.
So, din sa kanin. So, we will talk now of ordinance about building code. It's really clear eh. So, nabutang ko mas ang agang ro, kuan karami sa presiding, ro investor.
Okay.
So ano ang
So what's the recommendation
sa
of the
dahil
committee?
sa violation, ibalik na anay ka, ipakorek anay ro violation. Ilang percent na ang kuan, ang construction?
80%.
Oh, kita mo ron.
80%.
So 80% bago mag-apply. So nabutang ko na kompromiso ko man ro banwa ko man gara sa harang violation.
Pag kita obrahon, ay masugod ubod kita.
Hindi, that's why we tried to put it back to the council, the endorsement of this construction in the island Boracay, to see to it that they are following our rules and regulation, particularly on our municipal ordinance.
Ang subside yung puntahan na lang sa presentor.
Okay, go ahead.
How many percent ro construction nga naka-receive kamo it notice of violation?
Is there any letter of or notice of violation
May
issued?
notice of violation. Mga,
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay.
mga 40% na siguro.
So pinabayaan 40% ang violation matapos bago violation. So may
laxity.
Negligence.
Negligence.
Di ba?
On the part of the
Sa implementing agency. Hindi, Mr. President, ang kwan lang siguro, ibalik anay sa zoning na Mr. President, ipakorek yung violation.
Yeah, because
1,300 square meters land area, aga 200 square meters below malang atong required ng firewall. So kayo gayo taro diferensya.
So maybe we ask from the zoning representative if the zoning department is there any action upon issuing the notice of violation? Yung mga gin-violate na gin-actionan bala zoning?
Regarding sa ang situation sa is wabi ako sa bukod ako sa Boracay. So i-kuan ko lang siguro sa among opisina.
Okay.
Sige, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application will be referred back to the zoning office for for corrections of their violations.
Okay, so the recommendation of the
Klaro.
chairman on land use is to refer back the application of Happy Kula Travel Consultancy and Leisure Development Corporation to zoning office for further action with regards to the violations. Okay, so next, you're now excused, Sir Andrew.
Next client answer is name of applicants Miss Lisel Sakapanyo, Ang authorized representative is Kapitan Lelibet Sakapanyo. Name of project is Asbelt, two-story commercial building. Area is 147 square meter. Right over land is from sa nanay pa kay Ma'am Lelibet Sakapanyo. Classification is medium density Torres commercial zone. Location is from Balabag, Boracay, Malay.
Okay. Good afternoon, Honorable Elabit Sakapanyo, ma'am.
Good
Okay.
afternoon.
So, any comment from the chairman on the Committee on Land Use and
Thank you,
members?
Mr. Anyway, the application is anyway the building is already finished, so existing, and they're only applying for zoning permit and building permits, and of course the occupancy. Complied man tanan, no, subsiding, except sa walang permit.
Permit,
Zoning.
ah.
Ang pangutanan lang sir sa atong presenter kung nakakonek may existing ba kita karon nga sewer lines?
Oo, may existing ng sewer line.
Nakakonek kita ito, nakakonek ra nga kan.
Inakar mismo sa tapat.
Nakakonek ra nga establishment.
Okay.
So yun lang Mr. Presiding. So with that, I move that the application of Lisel C. Sakapanyo for
inspection.
For this building shall be endorsed, Mr. Presiding. Inspection na lang sa ano ka balik si Kwan?
Wa ko timeline, sir. Wa ko side.
Sa Thursday ba kayo magon? Anyway, we will send somebody.
Sir.
Sa Thursday na lang agahon.
Okay, so
Kasi in addition, presiding, kasi ginaano na mo doon nga mapadali dahil para maka-apply kami at mayor's permit. Dahil may notice yung kami from the licensing foreclosure kung ay paano ni kami maka-apply wa kami building permit. So thank you.
Delikado, pasira gali next week na kung hindi na to endorse na. So anyway,
okay, so thank you.
Thursday lang, sa Thursday morning.
Thank you, Honorable Sakapanyo. So the Committee on Land Use will inspect that on Tuesday. Thank you.
I don't know if this good or bad news for us is because of the continued development in Boracay Island. But since people are already complaining or clamoring about the activities, construction activities, Mr. Chair, so dapat may timetable na eh.
Yes.
Dahil imagine for how many years Ma'am
So I think all the queries we can ask that during the presence of the contractors and the DIWC. Daw saan naman na construct ng kasada? Mama tulang pa.
Okay, with that, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay. So,
If you happen to pursue, you mentioned about gaming,
Yeah.
leisure. All of that as we got. So I checked the registration of that Habibula. It's one of the purpose series.
Yes, you go ahead.
Operate and manage hospitality and leisure-related business such as, but not limited to gaming.
Oh.
Hotel and lodging accommodations and similar type of establishments. So this gaming is
The leisure kasi
Yeah.
puro may connotation eh.
Yeah, that's why I'm,
It is very tricky
I
ang
was very,
catchy ang word eh.
pagkaina, mga leisure, nakasunod lang yung sisip
Oo.
ko. There's something na may laro.
More than what he was
Fighting is also
presenting.
leisure.
So included sa state registration, the purpose, one of the purpose there is gaming.
So, I think their application, it must be very specific, no? Pag magiging aware
Native.
kita, because, and then sabihin na, in-approve nyo na, may leisure eh.
Oo.
Diba? So much better that you have to inspect again siguro sa committee, and then try kung ano, baka may casino na to.
So anyway, on Tuesday, the zoning officer will be present, Distrito. So discuss kung dapat i-check it na purpose ng business. From mga documents na attachment, i-check it, especially on the purpose of why you constructed this building for one purpose.
Yes.
Dapat it should be specific. If there are some changes, then they have to reflect it also on the application.
And also, building firewalls with a very big property.
Yeah,
Mga normal pati.
You see, because for the first place, they don't, they secure permits, according to them, they have permits, but hindi sila na notice ng muna.
Iba nga mga hawak kita, ama na firewall at bububaho ng property.
Yes.
Ama na kahit firewall, hindi ka basta-basta kasunod na karon.
Okay.
So, nakahinala ba?
So it depends that on the report of the Committee on Land Use on our next...
So we will not inspect it, Mr. Chair, unless they will correct the violation.
Yes.
They might belong to Chinese people. Siya nagano ng tabo 2 years back to sa mga Pagay Alexander. Remember?
Yeah.
They were doing cyber
online,
may online gaming, may online
gaming.
Ako nga mga na bagatang big season. It just creates negative vibes man sa island na ito. Imbis nga bully. Ay gadagang pa ikaw mga crimes ato ni
Ito nga sa mga chair, sabi yung sa mga application, sabi yung mga foreigners na, I think we require them to be present during the presentation.
Yes.
Really not only for their representative, mga kanigsahe, but anong purpose na karon, basta as long as just apply us for our
nga hindi ba makasabat kung pamangkuton?
Oo.
We will require the president of that company.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes?
Gaming has been mentioned, so I have received informations that many big hotels or resorts in Boracay is operating like, for example, poker, they have poker table or whatever, especially, I don't know. I would like to mention particularly Paradise Garden, that they're operating gaming activities there. I think they have a poker table. I don't know if they secure business permit from this municipality, but as far as I remember, we don't have endorsement. No?
So maybe we can check that on our licensing office if they have this kind of permits, no?
But it's open for everybody. My friends went there. My
Okay.
Pinay friends.
So, I'm saying with that, I think we have to send some queries to the office of the licensing office. If they have the issued permits that operate that kind of activity.
But I think we have to be clarified first if what is the business of
I was asking what's being offered though. Is a slot machine? I think the
Cards.
slots. No, not machine or computerized poker. Na yung klase.
slot machine.
May slots yun. I think that was what I've been told.
Because as far as I remember, no, there were such only 2-3 yata yung approved during last year. No? So we don't know before. And of course, ang isa pa ay supposed to be every year, no, iterate.
So no, I think the iteration only if they have already a license from Pagcor, no more iterations, or maybe if there's some changes of ownership, so it needs another solution from this council.
Well, Mr. Chair, what I believe that Pagcor will not grant any franchise to any applicants without endorsement from the local
Yes.
government.
They will not issue a franchise unless otherwise that the municipality will endorse their application for their business, for application for certain casino or online casino. So much better to check. So
we will refer that matter to Committee on Land Use, or?
no, we have to refer that on the Committee on Tourism.
Tourism?
Games.
Yeah, games and amusement.
And one thing was, may mga report ba na I don't know kung sinakampi na sa establishment in the Lake Town area na may operate kung noon na poker. So, maybe not only in the Lake Town area, kung sino na, abo-abo establishment doon eh. So I think we will invite the chief of police Boracay if they have the information regarding this illegal operation.
So I think we have that to include on committee hearing na lang ng tourism.
The committee on tourism will invite the chief of police there if they have the information.
Chief of police and
at the same time, yung check ng, I don't know what's, if you want to check the function or the function of this security officers na dapat sana they can be utilized as intelligence.
Yung mga security natin.
Security officers, diba?
Employed
with the LGU. I'm sure we had to be that some of them maybe or can be designated as intelligence officer, no?
They have to check those illegal operating illegally in this municipality and submit the report to the office of the mayor. Diba? Okay.
So, yun ang exciting siguro.
Tapos, last thing, Mr. Chair, remember mga, when Duterte was elected, the first thing he did was to order the closure of the e-gaming. So I think he will never like it that's happening here.
Yeah, because there was thousands of persons operating in one day.
So that's at the same time we will ask the chief committee level, the chief of police if they have some apprehensions already with that instructions from the higher office, like president.
Okay.
Especially on this illegal gambling.
Okay, so thank you. Some more? No more?
Yes, Mr. President. We have sent communication to the DNR regarding the itong mga wetland since we saw that some were already dry land na. No? And as if that nobody, no offices that really stops the intrusions ng mga individuals na naging dry land. So they submitted to us, they responded on our letter and submitted to us the almost 9 identified wetland in Boracay, Mr. Presiding, and with the locations, but they submitted us only the geographical coordinates. So very hard to identify this, so how many square meters this one. So with this Mr. Chairman, para ma-preserve ang natin dapat to wetland is very important sa Boracay dahil if this will not be protected or preserved, so there will be some ecological imbalance, di ba, sa isla. It would be detrimental sa the environment side, Mr. Presiding. So the possibility of maybe can get the help of the DNR people or through us, na I think we have to survey these areas now para it can be put some markings. So
actually they have already this may kinapost na sa mga wetland eh. This area is
this area is wetland, but now it's already dry land. Pinabayaan eh. So that we will create a task force to check, no? The area na dapat hindi ma-preserve na hindi na pwede nga lang magtinambak-tinambak na.
And there are some cases actually that, for example, it is wetland or forest land, but they have title. So the DNR issued a certification that they can build or develop their area.
Kaya nga siguro nga naging 12, naging 9 na lang. So maybe the 3 wetlands are already considered as dry na. Anyway, mayroon pa naman yung 9 na tira sa Friday, dahil aralan sa Boracay. Dapat masorbin at postura sa Friday. Ang mabuta nga na kung pwede makuragan na nato ng area nga na, hindi na pwede masumudod. Dahil kung sa ba is restricted area ron dahil gani, wetland.
There are some wetland that may mga tenured occupants.
Right, is ma-identify na doon. If they are there na, okay lang, but we have to follow some regulations. Ang ilan nga ng mga septic tanks, sa iba na tugpa na. Are they connected with sewage line kung mga pisang sa kalsada? Or ano sistema ng septic tanks na? Did they follow the 3 chambers requirement?
Actually, that's true, no? But before, during some meetings with the DNR, only the DNR have the right to secure or to sanda lamang mo lang may kwan yung mga kwan with land eh.
Kaya nga.
And that's why they call dati naghambal sanda na pwede mo applyan for flat tea or flat tea for the purpose of tourism. Parang ganun din ang application for a certain casino or online casino. So, much better to check, no? So,
we will refer that matter to Committee on Land Use, or?
It's
no,
gaming,
we have to refer that on the Committee on Tourism.
Tourism?
Yeah, because games and amusement eh.
And one thing more, Mr. Chair, may mga report baga nga, I don't know kung sinkampi na sa establishment in the Lake Town area, may ga-operate ko noon na poker. So,
Lake Town?
maybe not only in Lake Town area, kung sino na, abo-abo ang establishment na eh. So, I think we will invite the Chief of Police sa Boracay if they have the information regarding this illegal operation.
Amo ganun. So, I think we have that to include on committee, hearing na lang ng on tourism.
So, Committee on Tourism, we will invite the Chief of Police there if they have the information.
Chief of Police and
at the same time, yung chief ng I don't know if we want to check the function or the function of this security officers na dapat sana it can be utilized as an intelligence no?
Yung mga security natin.
Security officers, di ba?
Employed
employed with the LGU. Na so we had to be that some of them maybe or can be designated as
yes,
intelligence officer, no?
They have to check, no, those illegal operating illegally in this municipality and submit the report to the office of the mayor. Di ba? Okay.
So, yun ang siding siguro.
Tapos, lastly, Mr. Chair, remember was it couple or three, when Duterte was elected, the first thing he did was to order the closure of the e-gamings. So, I think he will never like it that that's happening here.
Yeah, because that was thousands of persons operating in one day, no?
So that's true. At the same time, we will ask the chief, this committee level, the chief of police, if they have some apprehensions already with that instructions from the higher office, like the president.
Okay.
Especially on this illegal gambling, Mr. Presiding.
Okay, so thank you. Some more? No more?
Yes, Mr. Presiding.
Yes.
We have sent communication to DNR, no, regarding the itong mga wetland, no? Since we saw that some were already
dry land
na, no, and as if that no offices that really stops the intrusions, no, of some individuals na naging dry land. So they submitted to us they responded on our letter and submitted to us the almost 9 identified wetland in Boracay, Mr. Presiding, and with the locations, but it submitted us only the geographical coordinates. So it's very hard to identify this. So how many square meters this one, no? So ang with this, Mr. Chairman, no, para ma-preserve, no, ang naton dapat wetland nga, which is very important sa Boracay dahil if this will not be protected or preserved, so there will be some ecological imbalance, di ba, sa isla. It would be detrimental sa the environment side, Mr. Presiding. So the possibility of maybe can get the help of DNR people or through us, no, na I think we have to survey these areas now para it can be put some markings or
actually they have already this may ginapost sanda sa mga wetland eh. This area is
this area is wetland, but now it's already dry land. Pinabayaan eh. so that we will create a task force, Mr. Presiding, to check, no? The area na dapat hindi ma-preserved aron hindi ta pwede nga hala magtinambak-tinambak una.
And there are some cases actually that, for example, it is wetland but or forest land, but they have titled. So the DENR issued a certification that they can build or develop their area.
Kaya nga siguro nga naging ibig na 12 naging 9 na lang. So maybe the 3 wetlands are already
dry,
considered as dry na. Anyway, mayroon pa tayong 9 na tira, Mr. Presiding, dahil alang-alang sa Boracay. Dapat masorbate at hostura, Mr. Presiding. Ang mabuta nga na kung pwede makuragan natin ng area nga hindi na pwede masugod doon, dahil kung sa is restricted area ron dahil nga ni wetland.
There are some wetland that may mga tenured occupants. That
At least ma-identify natin. If they are there na, they okay lang, but they have follow some regulations. Ang ilang karon nga mga septic tanks sa inbaga nangatugpa na. Are they connected with sewerage, sewage line kung mga pisan sa kalsada? Or ano ro sistema na ng septic tanks una? Did they follow the 3 chambers requirement?
Actually, that's true, no? But before, during some meetings with the DENR, only the DENR have the right to secure or to sanda lamang kuno ang may kwan nga wetland eh.
Kaya nga.
And that's why they called dati naghambal sanda nga pwede mo applyan for flag T. For flag T for the purpose of tourism. Parang ganon yung andang
pwede sure, but these some requirements sa flag T. Pwede pero aman nare-risk nga flag T una sa Boracay ever since eh. Sa
West
Pilungan
Cove
po na cancel yung ano ito eh. So meaning walang flag T na issuances.
May moratorium sa flag T, I think.
So yung marami sa ang kwano dapat masorbero area or existing na para ma-identify kita na tuno na billion or na, and then it should be kuragan ay mo deciding role para hindi ta masugod una aga kung ano ro yung ulimawa kung ano ro agreement natin with the DENR and the LGU kung paano maproteksyonan ro arong areas ng material presiding. Hindi pwede pabayaan na dahil maabot lang adlaw nga maduga truwit land nira. Dry land ng tanan ra.
Yeah, that's a big discussion, no? Because if you could remember during the time that this 1064 was ginaobra sa Boracay, there were some wetlands identified. So, ang inobra, paano mo gani mabol dahil may andang tax declaration named after the occupants. So, believing that once you have a proof of payments, so it means that if you are the one who pays for that land, so you are the occupants of the land or the owner of that land.
But that only for tax purposes, Mr. Presiding. But
Yes,
it's
for
already
tax
declared
purposes.
as forest land na wetland na yan eh. So nobody owns that because it's already owned by the government na. It declared na sa as wetland eh.
But the problem, who will be the one to put a fence on that area which has a presence?
We talked about the two, which is called wetland number 1, which is in Yapak, and wetland number 6. So we were shown a photo of wetland number 1, the past, you know how it looks like in the past, beautiful, and how it looks like now. It's getting smaller and smaller, as what SB Bautista was saying. And they were talking about putting up fences on the identified area. So we said, what about the areas we were talking about? Some areas there, wetland is owned by a very high government official. Are you willing to put up the fence? You know, that's why they were only talking about the two, because maybe some areas are the other wetlands is really medyo difficult to di ba? So so about I don't know if it's proper no. As our problem is always environment.
So, Mr. Chairman, so with that, ma-identify natin kung sino ba mga nag-enroll sa wetland. Diba? And then, to send some communication to them, and then call attention, we have to meet with them. They discuss na wetland na na. Or, if to stop in the other development areas. Unless, you to comply nga, yung mga flag din na, kung allowing mo ng, then we have the law na dapat sundon eh.
I think if we are talking about wetland, it's very unfair also to those who sa may forest land, may timberland. So why only wetland? Because wetland is pareho man nun hit forest land eh.
Pero
and timberland.
kurang tahun na po sa dito, siya magturo-tubig lang na puno. Aron, magpaharo sila mo ng preside, kung ipabayaan nato na.
So, the two area na na-identify nga medyo ano, saan yan?
One in Yapa, and the other one is near
Lagutan.
Yeah.
The dead forest.
Maybe. So anyway, ang pala problem, ma-identify natin kung sino nag-intrude una sa wetland niya ron. No? And then, ano ang mga responsibilities? Then, as a
It was stated already before, hindi ba ililadiin na? So, let's wait up to review again.
Oh, yeah. And then, I think we have preferred sa Committee on Environment.
And there's another meeting on November 29. In fact, one of the speakers will be Attorney Fosa, the famous environmental lawyer. So, it will be in Boracay.
Ay, invited kita tanan lang
Oh, it's a very, very important gathering.
So we will
we can ask our questions, including
include
the ones
this,
in the Baoy.
we include this problem sa society.
Oh.
Kailangan tayo ito, may task force eh.
Oh.
Task force wetland.
No, who can create the task force?
Environmental police atong ginagawa.
So kaya we have to discuss with the DNR kung paano kita mabuligan in order to preserve this identified wetland.
Yes, Honorable Mami.
Mr. Chair, tama ka ng pa ni Honorable Bautista na parang mapasit na siguro meeting na iwanan din na kung paano ma-solve na dahil tama ka nang wala nang makita ang area na kung ano ang itsura bago kita action. So, basta yung mga hindi na makamit siguro din ang kita maplastar kung ano dahon dahil really mga sa baka hindi nga kwan hindi gayan to dahil nakamsigi sila tinambak. So tama nga ng Honorable Bautista na aksyonan ni Timplano para maplastar kung sino may bakante o kaya naging squatter to masayra na to para maagapan lagi mo.
Okay. Okay. Notice the Honorable Mami.
So
may nagala sa
committee to committees, committee of land use, committee.
So maybe we can hear from you, Honorable Bautista, who are those nine wetlands?
Okay, I'm starting with your instruction. So I will read. Okay, wetland number 1. So located at Barangay Yapak, Boracay Island. So this is wetland number 1, project number 13-A, block A. So Paris land. Number 2, project number 13-A, block A, Paris land, Sitio Lapos-Lapos, Barangay Balabag. So this is all in Boracay naman. So wetland number 3, project number 13-A, alienable and disposable. Yung oras siguro. Sitio Balabog, Barangay Balabag, so Boracay Island. So Aklan at the back of English Bakery. So alienable and disposable limaw.
How come that it was alienable and disposable?
That's why we will discuss that. We have to discuss this with the DNR.
That's the power. Well,
so they have to explain to us why this is meant. Na wetland ay maging ED. Diba? So, okay. So number 4, wetland number 4 is project number 13-A, block F, Paris land, Barangay Balabag, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan, in front of the mall. So, kita na sa may Lake Town area. So wetland number 5, project number 13-A, block G, Paris land, Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan, now Crown Regency compound.
Oh.
See?
See? See?
See? Next is wetland number 6, project number 13-A, block G, Paris land, Sitio Lagutan, Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan, dead forest. Yan ang dead forest. So nangawa kita man nagkamatay yung mga kahoy una, meaning may nagpatay.
Dead forest.
Diba? Dahil instant ako na nagtagagwag ko kahoy eh. aga haman nangawag ta haman nagkamatay ro ka eh. Somebody
May human intervention.
There's a human intervention. So wetland number 7, project number 13, there's A, Block G, Forest Land. Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan. Now, Kingfisher's Farm compound and remaining portion at the back.
Kingfishers.
Oh. So wetland na ron. Agababo na yung mga structure na sugod. Marong nga naman siya, para ma-identify natin kung sino yung nagsuot sa wetland.
May application po siya.
Mga application mga ni. So, I don't know, wala na mga nakalagay na alin na mula disposable, so you have to check it.
Last.
So, number 8, wetland number 8, project number 13, that's A, Block H, Forest Land. Sitio Bubon, Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan, at the back of Petron Gasoline Station. Yun, nakita ko mamangat ng baka na sa likod yun. Diba? May pasiplan, maubos na tambak ron. Kasi na ato ang tubig dahil kung mag-inuwan.
Actually, this time, sa kurang-kurang gabaharon
kita
na.
mo, that's the cause of flooding eh. Di ba, ato ng tubig, bakit outlet na ron sa presiding? Kasi magtulong tubig. Okay? Then next, or matis mga ideyahan na kung obrahon. Hindi ka pabayaan mo lang ina. Sige, baka man nakadaugan nun eh. See? So wetland number 9, project number 13, there's 8, Block 1, Forest Land, Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Island, Aklan near Barangay Hall.
Barangay Hall, yung Barangay Manok-Manok.
Oh, iyan sa left side ngayon sa Barangay Tubig nga tangke. So manami na, what ating nga ni intrusion nun eh, what ating pa structure na. So wala ron.
May Barangay Tubig.
Barangay Tubig ba?
Oo, paubos yan.
Pero ano ron, na-preserve na ron eh. Diba? Pero abuin na sanda nagawasig itong siyakyan, ng mga oil kung nandito na sa wetland.
Oh.
Diba? So which is violation sa atong mga finance.
Okay.
So in order, Mr. Presiding, yung submitter it Environment and Natural Resource Office, which is signed by Jonel Adaniel, no? OIC, Sendo Office Officer. This was dated November 9, 2017.
Okay, so thank you for that information, Honorable Bautista, so that the people may know where are the wetlands in the island of Boracay. Okay, so thank you. So, some more
we want to make some what really now our action after this, no? Since we have now identified the 9 wetlands area. So, what will be the action now? Hindi pwede ito mag-round na ito, bagong bayan na yun. So it should be, I hope that it should be referred to the committee, Committee on Environment and maybe Committee on Land Use, to invite the INR, the barangay.
So maybe we can tackle that on November 29, no? During the open forum. Hindi pwede yan.
I do not know exactly the topics, and there will be a lot of topics, and there will be a lot of speakers. So either
but for us,
either we reschedule it before or after.
Maybe 28 we ganito i-discuss, and then 29 when we're able to attend that forum, at least meron na tayong discussions regarding this wetland. We'll invite the 3 barangay chairman or maybe their chairman of the committee on environment para naman marami ako ma-involve sa discussion regarding the DNR people. At the same time, may atong mga taga-DNR, so atong mga officials sa panahon
okay. So, adjournment?
Move that the 39th regular session will adjourn.
Yes. So that's been moved and seconded that the 39th regular session of the Assembly of Malay is now adjourned. Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence